Okay, let's start off by introducing yourself.
Well, my name's Chris. I'm from New York, a student at New York Institute of Technology. Um, I found the project through the TED Talks video Martian did, and looking forward to doing what I can to help move the project forward.
Before we jump into OSC, can you tell us more about your background? What did you study in school? What kind of projects did you work on? What do you do in your free time?
Sure. Well, after high school, I went straight to college. Started mechanical engineering, which I still am doing. I've always kind of liked math and science. Those subjects seem to come naturally to me. Um, so engineering was like a likely progression. Um, and yeah, and for fun, I like to do anything outdoors, hiking, backpacking, that kind of stuff. Um, and yeah, I mean,
Yeah, that's fine. That's great.
not really, yeah, but
Okay, and you've got a couple projects on there that you've done, like maybe some CAD work, 3D modeling. Can you talk about some of that stuff?
sure, yeah. So you saw my the wiki page I put up.
Yeah.
Cool. Um, yeah, no, it's mostly, I don't know if you look too closely at it, but most of those are very simple. Um, I think the most recent one I did was like a crankshaft in CATIA. Um, really nice CAD program. But I started out with AutoCAD, I think, a couple of years ago at Westchester Community College, and that was mainly like architectural type of stuff. But so I picked up that really quickly, and then recently I'm taking a course now on this CATIA program, and I'm finding that um, it's actually amazing to me. First time I've really seen this kind of 3D modeling. We just started doing like motion and stress testing in the program. Just kind of making objects move around, giving them time constraints, and yeah. I mean, I know I think most of the tools for the G are already modeled, but yeah, I definitely could help. I don't know, edit those or stuff like that.
Okay, so you said you found the TED Talk online. Can you tell us more about why you're interested in working with OSE?
Yeah. I it was a great talk, and then it prompted me to go to the website and read more about it. And I guess the reason why it grabbed me personally is because it's a mix of kind of this technology and engineering stuff, which I of course have an interest in, and then also it has like a global scale to it, and I really like that, and it has a positive global scale. It seems like it's motivated for the right reasons. It's not about making a profit. It's about making a difference, and that's probably what drew me in the most. And I mean, everything else about the wiki is really impressive. I like the way it's a project in motion. It's constantly being updated, added to. New people are coming in, bringing in new information. So it's exciting for me. That's all
Yeah.
of that is what drew me into it.
Okay, great. So you're interested in coming to Factory Farm?
Yeah, I would love to come check out the farm. Um, I have to check the dates again, but school ends sometime between May and August. But but yeah, for like the month long sprint or something like that.
Okay, you said sprint. Do you have any experience with Agile, Scrum,
No,
project management?
no, I don't. I did read on the new template for that kind of. I can't remember the name for it, but yeah, the whole sprint idea. But
No, that's fine. I was just
yeah,
curious.
yeah, okay.
Do you have any access to like a video camera that you could bring with you? And
Oh, yep, yeah. I'd probably bring along just a regular digital camera. It's nothing too fancy, but just with the LCD back screen. And
Yeah. Okay.
we do have, yeah, I mean, that can record video, so that's probably what I take along with me.
Okay, so you're saying that you could maybe come out for a dedicated project visit for a month, or could it be longer than a month?
Could be longer. Um, I mean, the max would have to be the 3 month limit that I have for summer vacation.
Okay. All right. And you know that that time would be volunteer work. You know that?
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
absolutely. That's fine.
Um, have you taken a look at the extreme manufacturing platform?
Right. So the extreme manufacturing platform, I have looked at it, and I know you're looking for kind of project heads to take one tool to documentation, or as close as they can get in that sprint. Yeah, I'm all for working with that in that template or in that kind of format. But the only thing I mean, and of course the wiki's there for information. But as a student, I don't have that much experience with any of these things so much. But I would be willing to head one of the projects and kind of pull in other people that are more experienced to help out with the project. But yeah, I would like it. The only reason I'm tentative is because I don't have that much experience with the actual work. I've done one other internship before as an engineer at a water treatment plant, but
You did a lot of what?
this would be new for me. Yeah,
You did a lot of what at a water treatment plant?
another internship.
Oh, okay.
So
See, it sounds like you're confident that you can figure out how the process works and you could run with it.
yeah, it sounds like it's based on feedback, is it not?
Yeah, that's part of it for sure.
So just kind of constant feedback and constant like adjusting what the refocusing in on the goal. So
Yeah,
yeah,
totally. Okay, I kind of I want to stay on topic. We'll sidetrack if we go down that road, but
okay.
that's for a later date. Um, okay, so why do you want to work for OSC? We've kind of talked about that. What kind of qualities would you like in your colleagues and teammates? Because you're going to be living with
Yeah,
people at Factory Farm on a day in and
right.
day out pace. So what kind of qualities would you like?
Yeah, no, I love meeting new people. As long as you know everybody gets along, that's fine. And if two people are butting heads, I have no problem being the mediator and calming down the situation. I'm all for kind of coming together on ideas, thinking abstractly, thinking creatively, and kind of brainstorming, and also buckling down and kind of focusing in and moving forward with whatever the project calls for.
Okay.
But yeah, just fun. I'm pretty easygoing.
Do you have any
I,
dietary issues?
I think I have a good balance when it comes, and I expect that from my team members too, that
Yeah.
they have a good balance in work hard, play hard kind of ethic. So
What do you do to relax? How do you relax and chill out after a long day?
I'd say hiking is one of my favorite activities. I also play sports like soccer and football, but mostly just pick up games, and I haven't been doing that too recently just because school's just
Yeah.
take big time sink. But yeah, hiking's a big one. I do hike on the Appalachian Trail up in New York, where I live. Different parts of that, and there's also a park by me which is just great for like Saturday afternoon. But yeah, and also just going out to the bar with buddies from high school, stuff like that. Just
Yep.
anything that's not work related is good for downtime for me.
Okay. Do you have access to a vehicle?
I do.
Would you?
We actually have a minivan and a sedan. I was thinking about possibly driving over to the site. It's not too far. You're north of Kansas City, right?
Yeah, I mean it's not required. There's no expectation that you have a vehicle. Just
Would it be a help?
maybe yes, maybe no. I mean,
It's not a truck. It would be like either a minivan or a sedan.
yeah, I feel like we've got the work vehicles covered at this point. Probably, Martin might have more to say about that, but
Yeah, I'd love to get an up close look at that life track.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. Okay. What unique qualities can you offer that we might not have that we need at this point? Like if you stepped in. Or
Well,
you,
I think my experience, just with everything I've done, the volunteer work I've done in Utah and Colorado, um, my teamwork over at the archaeological dig in Italy. Um, I think all of that personal experience that I have is something unique because no one else can really draw from those when it comes to finding a creative solution to a new problem. That to me is kind of why it's always better to have more heads than one on when thinking creatively. Um,
what about fabrication skills? Do you have any hands-on fabrication experience?
yeah, most of my hands-on experience would be woodworking type stuff. I've done a lot of small projects, benches, tables, shelves, things like that. Um, Not so much metalworking. I have not done any CNC work. I would, of course, and actually will probably need to for before graduation, get some not experience, get an idea for how that works, what programs work with the tools, um, which CAD programs can actually control the cutters and but other skills I might have that could contribute to the project. Um, well, I do have computer skills. I'm not sure how heavily you rely on computers actually at the farm. I know the wiki, it's important to have computers for that. Um, but I'm normally
What kind
pretty
of computer
natural when it
skills?
comes to fixing any problems or creating solutions with computers.
What kind of computer skills? Can you?
Mostly PC, some Linux. Just troubleshooting, fixing a lot of small stuff. I actually did that for a while. Just like small gigs like PC repair type stuff, but like removing spyware viruses. Also networking. I'm pretty good with networking. Um, small like home networking type stuff. But
Okay. All right. Um, you
I
said
did have another idea, and I'm not sure, but there may be some people that want to get involved in the project but don't have any experience with wikis or things like that. But I would definitely be able to, train somehow using wikis and using different internet cloud-based tools.
okay. Are you interested in learning how to weld and fabricate and cut metal and grind and
Sure.
okay. Um, what about compressed earth brick construction? Are you interested in doing any kind of construction or agriculture?
Yeah, absolutely. I like. I mean, I'm not sure. I did see like a kind of aerial view of the place and on maps. But if you are looking to build any more structures, I would definitely lend a hand in that, especially with brickwork. I know that's a lot of just lifting and placing stuff. That's fine. I don't mind doing that at all. Actually, that'd be kind of interesting for me.
Okay.
Uh,
Um, okay, let's talk a little bit more about team dynamics. So, if things were to get stressful, like what are your communication styles in a stressful situation with people? What's a good way to de-escalate a
well,
situation through
in an
communication?
argument.
Yeah.
Well, I think everybody's just kind of revisualize the grand scheme of things, and that is like why we're here in the first place, which is it's kind of big scale, but is to work together. And I know arguing sometimes comes from uh, just kind of everybody's trying to do something, but it's just the paths are kind of crossing over each other. And I think those kind of things is you just need space and time to. That's the best remedy for that kind of a situation. Um, it's hard though. I understand it 100%. People kind of get really passionate about their work, but um, it's okay to kind of step back and see how things unfold every once in a while, and then provide just wait your turn to provide your feedback and input.
I think that's a good point too, is to allow people to speak fully their perspective, and you just listen and let them feel fully heard. And then, what kind of communication style do you prefer personally?
Uh, I mean, this is nice right here. I've never done kind of video interview like this before, but it's a great substitute for being in person. I'd probably prefer in-person communication,
I mean,
but
also like, how do you like? Can do you? I mean,
like
nobody
wikis, blogs, and Twitter,
nobody likes. I mean, let's say you were being working with someone who is teaching you how to fabricate, or a project manager. How would you want them to communicate with you?
and there has to be kind of a set amount of time where you have time to get something done on your own, and then kind of a review session where you get kind of remanaged. Um, Otherwise, I think it's a little stressful to be working with a manager who's continuously critiquing or suggesting. But I try to take it all as constructive criticism, or whenever I'm in a situation where I'm getting a lot of more feedback than I kind of want. But so
Okay.
I guess a good format would be just kind of. It depends on the project, of course, but like a couple hours to a couple days, something that's kind of agreed upon between the manager and the worker, so so that the worker doesn't feel too stressed out, and the manager doesn't feel like he has to always be ready to provide feedback or direction
Okay.
for the person.
Sounds like you've had some personal experience with an overbearing manager.
No, no,
I think
no.
everybody goes through that.
I just know, actually, it's funny. I was kind of thinking about, with schoolwork and kind of relating it back to school. I've had some teachers that will give you a lot of grades back throughout the quarter, and you kind of know. Sometimes you know, sometimes if you're doing well, it doesn't really matter too much. But if you're struggling with one part, it's kind of nice to know exactly when to refocus in on that part. Um, you get 90s, 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 and then you get a 60. You know exactly where to refocus your efforts, or what you have to kind of redo. But in contrast, sometimes it's also nice not to have the stress of having to submit tests and assignments to get the feedback, and you can kind of really focus in on the material and the theory. But I think it's important to be able to adapt to both ways of management. So, so yeah, I guess I've had a few overbearing managers, but not too much.
No, that's a good answer. Um, all right, all right. So what do you hope to get out of this? What opportunities are you hoping to get from your time with OSE?
Experience, uh, the chance to work on a project like this. It's a pretty revolutionary idea. If if not on small scales, at least on a big scale, I don't think it's really been done before. So that's really impressive and interesting to me. But but also, it's a good sense of just kind of I enjoy volunteer work. I've done it before. You always meet nice people. You always learn a lot, and it kind of gives you that motivation to keep doing what you're doing during those winter months when you have to buckle down and make the money.
Yeah, yeah. That's a cycle. Um, Sounds like you're hitting some pretty high notes, man. This is a good interview. Let me think. What else would I like to cover? Um, I mean, I think we've pretty much hit a lot of the high notes. If you could kind of like, if you could maybe just give a broad outline of what your day-to-day work would be like at OSC, what do you envision yourself doing on a daily basis? And then what do you hope to accomplish by the end of the project?
Right. So, um, it's I'll do my best. Sure. It is a little hard for me to do it, not kind of actually having been there, seeing exactly how everybody else works. But I imagine, you know, it would be nice to be able to kind of, wake up in the morning at, not too late in the morning, but and not too early either. But get some breakfast with everyone, talk about what everybody wants to do for the day, and kind of jump right into work maybe. Um, Start Everybody kind of breaks up into smaller groups for their projects, and maybe all the small groups kind of have lunches on their own, and then everybody kind of comes together at the end of the day, gets a bite to eat, talks about what they did, what they want to do tomorrow. Um, that's just one idea of maybe one possible day, but I see it as being a productive stay. Um,
Let me ask
with
you some.
kind of kidding around aside, I think that we can all kind of manage our. I'm sorry, what were you gonna say?
Let me ask you some specific questions. Like, would you be involved in fabrication? Would you want to learn how to build the machines and prototype them?
Yes, absolutely.
What about CAD work? Do you want to maybe do some CAD designing for the machinery?
I do not mind doing any CAD work either. Not at all.
And
That
then
would be
maybe
great.
some field testing. Like you could like turn on a machine, drive it around, keep it like watch it while it runs for like 8 hours a day. See, test it out in rugged terrain and stress
Sure,
test it and all that kind of stuff.
absolutely.
Okay, and
Sounds good.
what about like doing like regular documentation, like video updates that would be uploaded? Like, this is who I am, what I did today. Show your work and upload that to the YouTube channel. You're comfortable with that?
Yeah, that's fine. I did see on some of the dedicated project interviews or project visits they were doing like weekly submissions for that. But the daily would be fine too.
It doesn't have to be daily, but we're trying to have someone who does that as a specific role for the project. So they would be an on-site documenter,
Okay.
and they would just come up to you while you're working, and you would just give like a 1-minute update.
Oh, yeah. Not me doing the videotaping, someone else, and then yeah, absolutely. I have no problem answering questions. Once or twice a day, or once every 2 days, 3 days. Yeah, that's fine.
There might
I,
be some of that.
that's sorry. That's one of the parts I like about the project is it's the open source part about it. Gives everybody else a chance to see how we're doing it, exactly how it's working out. But go on. I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. That's great. It's good. It's a good answer. There might be some times where you're gonna have to do the videotaping yourself. Our guy he was coming from Germany, and he got stopped at the border.
Oh
And I'm
no.
not sure if they're gonna let him through or not, because he needs to have some kind of special visa that he didn't know about. But if it's not him, somebody else will fulfill that role. But in the meantime, you might be doing some of the documentation yourself, and you're comfortable with that.
No problem.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. I think that's everything I wanted to cover, man. Do you have any final thoughts or anything else you want to say?
Not off the top of my head, no. Thank you for the interview.
Yeah, it was a good interview, man. March and we'll be in touch. All right.
Okay, cool.
All right. Thanks, Chris.